Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co, and these are the games leaving my collection for the month of June. We have 14 games leaving today, and they're actually divided perfectly into 7 and 7. Generally, when I do these videos, I divide it up into two categories. The games that are kind of more passing through. They are games that I played and decided that I did not need to keep them. They never really entered the collection. The other 7 are games that are going to be leaving the collection. They are games that have been here in some cases for under a year, in some cases for as many as like 7 years? One of them has been there a really long time. I'm a little sad about it, but I feel like, we'll talk about it when we get to it. But 14 games, 7 passing through, 7 leaving the collection, and the usual disclaimers. Disclaimers over here are number 1. I play a lot of new games every single year, so good games have to go. It's the nature, I play like 350 new games a year. I can't keep all of them. But I do find a bunch every single year that I do enjoy and do want to add to my collection. And to that end, unless I want my collection to balloon to an infinite size, games have to go, even if I like them. If I get rid of a game, it doesn't necessarily mean I didn't like it. Like, if it's in the passing through category, then it wasn't enough of a hook, but games have to leave. That's the short math of it, assuming you don't have infinite time. And if you do have infinite time, please tell me your secret. Secondly, from that, if you are a member of the channel, either on Patreon or Ko-Fi or YouTube membership, then I do give away, sorry, I have a little tickle in my throat. If you are a member of the channel on Patreon, Ko-Fi, or YouTube membership, I do give away games every single month. Go ahead and check that out if you want to get some of these games given away to members of the channel. And with that said, let's go ahead and dive into, starting off as usual with the games passing through. We have Ingenious, not Ingenious, I still have that one. Ingenious Single Player Travel Edition. I don't even know, this arguably should be in the games leaving the collection. It depends on how you count this one. This is more of a puzzle game where you're kind of playing through a puzzle of trying to assemble little like challenges. So you're using the Ingenious pieces, but you're not really using the Ingenious rule set. It's just a way of having a little puzzle that I have found fun. I've played through like 20 or 30 of these. I enjoy it. I don't need to play through all, I think it's 200 challenges. I don't need to play through all 200 challenges. I kind of played a few easy, then bumped up to medium and kept going, playing through them. I do enjoy the challenges it provides, but it's not going to replace, despite the travel edition, it's not going to replace a phone or a pocket button-shy game for me. It was a nice game that I enjoyed playing through, and I've seen enough of it. We also have Lunar from Allplay. Lunar is interesting. I like this one in the sense that it gives you a team-based variant of playing a trick-taking game, where one player plays the number and the other player plays the suit. And that allows for interesting degrees of tricks that are happening as you play. My problem with Lunar is twofold. One is that you have to play it with 4 players. You could play it with different player counts as well, but I think it really shines as a 4-player experience, that nature of that teamwork. The variants aren't quite as compelling. And my other problem with it is that while the hook is interesting, there are so many trick-taking games out there that I find that I need a hook that feels more than just interesting. Lunar is fun. If I was playing this as a trick-taking game without the giant amount of trick-taking games I have and continue to play, then I would probably keep it. As it is, it's interesting, gives you some interesting things to think about, but I like other trick-taking hooks more than I like what Lunar is doing. We have Paper World. This is charming. It's from Pandasaurus Games. It basically has you drawing cards or playing cards. You either select all of a color or all of a number and draw them. Then on your next turn, you either select all of a color or all of a number and play it. Just to be very clear, in case you heard that over there, you don't have to alternate turns. Basically on your turn, you either draw or play, and when you draw or play, you either choose a color or a number to do so. There's a little bit more to it as far as the grid you're developing, the goals you are vying for. I have had fun playing this one, but it doesn't necessarily wow. It's just a good game. There's lots of good games out there. There's First Class Letters. I love Peter Hayward, and I think that he is an excellent designer who does a lot of quirky, interesting designs. This one, to me, didn't feel as quirky. The general pitch is kind of like Boggle meets Welcome To. Boggle, in the sense that you're rolling a bunch of dice and trying to come up with words. Welcome To, in the sense that you're going to be playing through multiple rounds. If I recall correctly, it's 7 rounds. I want to say it's 7 rounds. And in each round, you have to play in alphabetical order. So if I create the word donut in one round, the round after that, I can't do, I don't know, cat. I can't do cat. I wouldn't want to. It's a bad word. But I can't do cat because D is after C. You have to play your words. You kind of have to plan your way out towards these larger and larger words. It does add an interesting hook to the nature of spelling games, but not interesting enough hook that I feel compelled to keep it. Like most assemble a word game, I had fun with it, and I can move on from it. Speaking of assembling your words, you have Better Letters. I had a very short run with this game. I saw this one at Origins, and I really liked the pitch of it. I brought it home and played it, and I thought that it wasn't quite as fun as I thought the pitch would be. The pitch is, rather than trying to just assemble a word based on having the most letters and whatnot, you're trying to fulfill criteria. So the criteria are different than here's a bunch of letters, make the best word. The criteria in this case are going to be things like, you're going to have a grid of cards, and you're going to have things like, I don't know, starts with a P, contains IN, ends in G, is one syllable. You have all these different criteria in play to decide what word you're creating, and you're trying to hit all those criteria. The general pitch of it, I was very intrigued by it. I thought it was very cool, very different than your normal word game, but it has the same problems that word games have. People are going to sit there for hours trying to come up with the not hours, but too long trying to come. To be fair, there's a timer, there's a time mechanism. But players are going to try to come up with that perfect word. It can be challenging to do that. The scoring I found to be a little tedious. You also are penalized for other players coming up with utilizing the same stuff you are, which in some concepts makes sense, and this one it feels a little bit less so. I still enjoy it, but I thought I would really like it. I thought this would be one of those word games that breaks through for me, and as it stands, it does not. It's just a good word game. Then we have Asterix Co. I was very excited when I saw this one at UKGE because I love Asterix. I love Asterix growing up. I recently watched the Netflix video, the Netflix TV series. My kids all enjoyed it. My kids all love Asterix now. I think this is one of the privileges of being an adult. As a kid, I always got the Asterix books from the local library, which meant you never always got all of them. You never got to read them in order. There's always a guess of when you'd have one or the other, and I was always like trying to seek out getting the Asterixes. As an adult, I just bought the entire set. I bought the entire set, went on eBay or Amazon or somewhere and found it, and then bought it, and my kids get to read the whole thing in order. They'll never know the joy of finding that one Asterix you haven't been able to get your hands on, and they may lose the appreciation I have for it because I had to actually work for it, so I'm probably ruining their lives. That didn't go the direction I thought it was. I do wonder about that a lot. I do wonder, like even right now I'm going through a heat wave. A random tangent in our games leaving the collection video. Right now I'm going through a heat wave over here. It is too hot in this house. My AC cannot keep up. I am looking into like options. There's all these different things you can do. But like my AC does fine on a regular day. It can't keep up on a super, super hot heat wave day. But growing up, I didn't have internal air at all. I didn't have internal air. I had fans, ceiling fans, and I thought that was totally normal and fine. As an adult, I'm like, how could anyone live like that? Because it's what you get used to. Like the things you grow up with. I mean, we were 8 people in a house with 1 bathroom. Like that's what it was. 1 bathroom with 8 people. And now I'm like, if there's 4 of us, you need 2 bathrooms. Life changes, but basically, I guess the takeaway here is if you want your kids to thrive into people who don't take things for granted, raise them in neglect and punishment and lack of... This is so bad. This is so bad. First of all, don't raise your kids in neglect. Second of all, I'm not saying my parents neglected me. You get my point. You get my point. Sometimes not having things can end up in a good way. Back to Asterix. It's cute. The art's cool. You're basically vying for the books that you actually are the books, so the books themselves are the things you're fighting over. The actual gameplay is draw cards, play cards, pretty straightforward. It's fun, but it's not like fun in any particular amazing way. It's Asterix on a card game. Then we have Animated. This is probably the one that was most likely to be kept from all these games, but also because of the charm. The actual gameplay is a little lighter than what I would like. I think Animated is fun. It's using the card system from Arc Nova, if you're familiar with that, so actions get stronger until you take them. So there's constant balance of which actions do I want to take versus which actions are stronger and how do I balance that. Overall, it's a fun system, but it doesn't wow me. I kind of really wanted to like it, and I just think it's fine. There's lots of fine games in life. This is another fine game in life, but that's kind of it. These are the 7 games that are passing through, which brings us to the more fun part. Fun not for me, but like fun in the sense of like more weight. There's more gravitas to the second part because they are actual hard decisions. These are the 7 games that are leaving my collection. And I'm going to start off with the one that I haven't played, which is also over here because it's too big. We have Roads and Boats. I have not played Roads and Boats yet. I've held on to this for like 5 years at this point, hoping to play it, and I never got around to it. I'm realizing I don't know. It's one of those things, there's a certain point where you look at the games on your shelf and you realize, not only have I not played that, but I'm not even pulling it off the shelf to try to play. And that's where I am with Roads and Boats. My unplayed games, I always am eyeing them and trying to think, which one am I getting played tonight? Sometimes a game gets played the day it comes in, sometimes a game gets played 6 months after it comes in, sometimes they get played 4 years after they come in. But lots of times they get the eye of, are you possibly getting tabled this week? I haven't looked at Roads and Boats in a long time to try to table it, and so I'm giving up on it. So it's not really games leaving, this is like one of those Asterix ones, it's not really leaving my collection per se, because it's never in my collection, but I'm giving up on Roads and Boats. It's an excellent game. I know it's an excellent game. All of you who played it are probably going to say it's an excellent game, but I don't feel the drive to play it. I'm willing to play it. I'm still very much willing to play it, but it's going to go the route of many other games that eventually hit a point where I realized I wasn't trying to prioritize it, and so Roads and Boats is leaving. In the category of games actually leaving, we have them ranked in order of least to most painful over here. We have Wild Gardens. I've had this one for a while now. I've had it for like nearly a year at this point, but I enjoy Wild Gardens. I think it's a lot of fun. I played through it competitively. I've played through it solo. I finally did my review recently because I was just waiting. Like I've had it for like a year now at this point, but I was just waiting to play through more of the solo experiences. I haven't even done all the solos yet. I think I've done 4 of the solos, maybe 5 of the solo games right now, which is fine. I kind of do want to play through the other 2, and I might get to them. We'll see. I just have a lot of backlog of solo games to get played, but Wild Gardens is good, but it's not the level of good that I got out of Keystone North America, which is, oh my gosh, fantastic. Also from Rose Gauntlet Entertainment. That's why the random title over there. But Wild Gardens has an interesting set collection vibe as you wander around these pathways, trying to gather various things, building up your tableau. It's pretty straightforward. It's very charming, but I don't know if it necessarily wows me in the core game concept. It does a good job. It's visually appealing and easy to teach and play. All of those are just hitting good notes, but it doesn't necessarily wow. The solo mode, on the other hand, was good enough that I wanted to play through more of it, because the solo gives you more of a story to what you're doing, and also twists up the game rules in different ways that I find enjoyable. Ultimately, a good game, had in my collection for like a year now, and it's leaving now. We have the Art Project. I enjoyed this. This is from the op. This is one of those games, a little cooperative experience, but it's a little different than your typical co-op, but I mean, I guess it's similar and yet different at the same time. It's a pretty straightforward game. There's like 6 different maps. Each map has small variations to them, but ultimately you're gathering resources, trying to recover the stolen art in the game. I've had fun with this one. It is just different enough from your standard co-op game, as far as how you manage your movement in the game, that it does give a challenging puzzle that I do find rewarding. But also, I've played through all the maps at this point. I've had it at this point for over, I want to say like 2 years now, and I feel I've seen enough that I was willing to let it go from my shelf. Similarly, we have Furnace. Furnace from Arcane Wonders. This is a very satisfying bidding game. A very satisfying bidding and auction game, engine building. An engine building game. Bidding and engine building. Those are the 2 mechanics over here. I think Furnace is a lot of fun. It's very tight, plays well at 3 and 4 players. I don't remember if I played it at 2. I definitely haven't played it at 2 recently. But this is a very satisfying little engine building and auction game where you try to figure out the value of the things that are going to go into your engine. Very straightforward. The expansion adds more to it, but again, I've had it for enough time. I'm kind of eyeing this one for a while as far as when it might potentially leave the collection, and this month is the final point where I said this month is the month it goes. Honestly, these next 3 are all in the same category. Like I don't have any great sadness over all the ones leaving today, primarily because there are some good games leaving, but these are all games that I have eyed every single month, wondering which month they were going to go. And so in this case, this is the month that they're all going. There are more. There's always more. Match of the Century. This is excellent. It's from Capstone Games. I think it's a really excellent 2-player tug-of-war. I do find that I typically go back to my favorite 2-player tug-of-wars again and again and again. In this case, they like me games like Watergate, although I do have recently, what was it called again? Oh my gosh, what's the other one? Caper Europe. I really enjoy that one. I'm always finding different 2-player tug-of-war games, and I do find that Match of the Century is just a little less intuitive than something like Watergate, or I've just played Watergate more. That's possible. Like, Match of the Century I've played like half a dozen times. Watergate I've played like 20 times. Watergate is excellent, and it is my go-to game. Is it the same designer? I think it's the same designer. No, is it? Nope, Palomori, not the same designer. But yeah, they're all excellent. Is it? No, Watergate's Matthias Kramer, right? I think Matthias Kramer. Anyways, but yeah, they're both excellent games. I prefer Watergate overall, but Match of the Century is definitely worth checking out. I do think they're very comparable in terms of what they're doing, but similar to the way Run recently lost out to Mind Management, Match of the Century is losing out to Watergate as far as what the games are doing. Ruthless makes me a little sad. This is a very good game that I very rarely get played. This one doesn't have like a direct replacement. Like Furnace, Wild Gardens, Art Project, and Furnace, I feel I've played enough. Match of the Century, I could play it more, but I just feel it loses out to Watergate. This one just doesn't get played as much, which is a shame because this is what I'm sad about now. I know I just said I wasn't sad, but now I'm sad about this one. This is very unique. It's a poker building game. It's a deck building poker game with a lot of modules that really build out the game. I think it's a lot of fun, but I just don't pull it off the shelf, which is a shame. Like, it's like 40, 60 minutes. I want to play this. I should play this more. The problem is, there's a part of me that wants to say, forget it. I'm going to hold on to it. We're going to save it. We're going to let it live. There's a part of me that wants to do that. But then I feel I would just come back with it again after another 6 months of having not played it, and it would be right back here. It's a hard choice. This is a very good game that I don't play enough. And I don't know why I don't play it enough, but it's not... We're going to let it go. We're going to let it go. We'll see what happens. But that's a good game. Ruthless is a very, very good game. This should have been the last one. I didn't realize I'd have the feels as I was getting rid of it. I've really enjoyed Ruthless when I get it played. I don't think I've played it in like 2 years, and I don't... I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. There's no emotions. These are just board games. There's emotions. Le Fantome De Opera. This one I've had for a very long time. I've had this in my collection, I want to say, for for a very long time. I don't know the number, but I want to say over 7 years, maybe 9 or 10. I don't know. I'd have to check. I may have had this for over 10 years. This may have been in my video of games I've had for over 10 years. I didn't check right now, but this has been around for a long time. Fantome De Opera is my favorite version of the Mr. Jack system, which is a system of deductiveness, of not really deductive, of process of elimination. You're trying to split things into categories to be able to figure out who the baddie is. In this case, the Fantome of the Opera. Each player has their own abilities, and there's an interesting card row system of you can't use all abilities all turns, and who goes first or second is going to alternate on each round. I think this is my absolute favorite version. Like, I've gone back and I've played Mr. Jack and Mr. Jack in New York to see if maybe I found this later, I don't know. But I've gone back and no, this is definitely my favorite version of the game. I don't think it's the most popular. I do think it's the best. I've played this so much at this point that I feel I can let it go. Like, I don't have the same sadness that I do with Ruthless. This has been around for a long time, but I really feel I've gotten my time with the game. I've seen it play out. I've enjoyed it so much, and it's an excellent experience that I feel I've gotten enough time with it that the sadness is gone. The sadness isn't there, because it's like one of those things like, you know, you've lived a good life and all that stuff. Like, I don't feel Ruthless has lived a good life. I feel Ruthless has so much potential that I didn't get to see. And the Fantome De Opera, this one, on the other hand, I feel it's lived a good life. Those are the 14 games leaving my collection for the month of June 2025. We'll be back next month, as we usually are, with more games leaving the collection, although we'll figure out... This one was like a little easier to purge my collection, because I kind of got rid of a bunch of games that I've been eyeing for a while. But we'll see what makes the cut next month, because, again, every month, games come in, games go out. It is always a balance to try to keep it in check. But until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.